Good morning, everyone. This is Anil Kalaga, along with Arun Karthik. I'm going to present today about modernizing analytics using of AWS from on-prem data warehouse. Here, the agenda follows for today. In a brief, we'll start introduction about GE Aerospace and also discuss about our team role in supporting GE Aerospace vision. Next, we will cover the technical transition of on-prem warehouse to AWS cloud, sharing our experiences in the journey, what we are looking forward as a future, and then we'll have a definitely question and answer. GE Aerospace, we make aircraft engines that help to fly people everywhere in the globe. Every 2 seconds, taking a takeoff, and also out of 4 takeoffs, 3 takeoffs belongs to GE Venture Technology aircraft engines are flying. At this moment, when we are speaking, around 650K people are traveling their homes safely with the GE technology. Thanks to GE engines who are traveling safe. Safety is our top priority. We also provide services and maintenance for all our customers. From there, actually, a lot of customers or airline operators place a materials request as part of their maintenance activities. They do also place these orders to certain digital tools across the globe. Being a passenger safe on flight, our business operations teams take certain insights from our on-prem solution that was built 15 years ago with various legacy technologies. They focus on understanding how our various material orders are fulfilled and managed. They also used analytic-based tools which would be supporting for the better inventory planning and sales opportunities. These are the things are happening from the till recent, happening from on-prem data warehouse which was built 15 years ago. Being able to deliver this data for quick actions from business operations, as Madhu said, right? Critical is the business operations to keep business keep going. To act on the business operations, these insights are so crucial for our teams on-time delivery of the data. What is the trouble we see over the time is like our data warehouse solutions, which is hosted in on-prem, is not delivering the data effectively. Our team decided to shift our solution into the completely AWS. A year ago, we decided, we are facing a lot of operational challenges. Why can't we take a technology transition? That's the one call we took a year ago. Already GE Aerospace continuing its Redshift as a data lake for entire enterprise, which is supporting all the functions and data is available to pull and push there. But our system is quite old, and we have chosen to focus on creating a specific domain-based data lake, like customer material services as a domain in the GE Aerospace is a separate Redshift cluster is our thought actually, and which we branded as a CMS domain data lake, which will support our future goal of developing self-managed AI and ML as Harry and Mother's saying, right? Like we are setting up the platform to get into our future vision, because we would like to have a data management system ready, and get into the self-managed AI and ML, and our analytics also in the future should be completely driven from the AWS services. That is what the vision we kept before we are taking into any of the transition activities. Now I'm keep going on to the what was there as like on-prem as an architecture. Our on-prem solution designed in a very monolithic way with a complex ETL using of the Informatica as our processing the data, and that is not systematically organized. This makes tracking and delivering data become so complex for the teams. Operations teams are waiting for our data in most of the times. Then the data is also storing. Oracle is our data management tool, and it has its own challenges with the performance and all. And some part of the data we are pushing through ELT pipelines to the enterprise data lake also. Combining in a various places the data got stored, we are deriving the insights for the business operations to support. Being the failure of the delayed and complicated detailed process monolithic design, when we took a call about, hey, we need to move to the AWS cloud, and it's not that easy. The transition is not that easy. Then we took a pause. Hey, how to think about moving our 15-year-old system into the new tech stack? Because our business logic is spread across various places, some parts in Informatica, some parts in Oracle. While transitioning to the cloud, we set our priorities to focus on we should go with serverless design. That is the first priority for us, which will helpful for us to be get down on the operational cost and complexity. And also cost-centric design. When we are choosing about, hey, what are the services need for us in our design architecture, when we are laying out the platform for the cloud, we are choosing the cost-centric, we enforced ourselves what would be our exactly need for to deliver the KPIs on time. And we keep updating all our stakeholders on the plan, why we are going on this path, what are the things we need to be take care. In the design, we considered particularly Glue as our ETL, to pull the data from various sources. Certain heterogeneous sources were there. And S3 is like a temporary storage before we are storing that into the final Redshift cluster that we are calling as like a same as data cluster, right? This is just a entire Redshift cluster is our main storage. It helps to manage our data better at a one place and deriving the operational insights easy and quicker and faster based on the Redshift architecture. It is there. Whatever I'm saying now, it's just the starting point. Cloud architecture is always evolving. It is not a final version. We evolved a lot than whatever the transition phase what were there. We continuously work on improvements on architecture. Okay. Now Arun Karthik is going to take us to the details of the architecture.
As well explained by Anil on the issues what we are facing with on-prem architecture and how we are getting impacted, as well as the end user gets getting impacted. We are coming up with AWS cloud environment. Here, AWS help us in framing a well-defined cloud architecture as a solution for all the challenges what we are facing. Whatever architecture which Anil explained in the previous slide, let's get in deeper. So here, in terms of future state architecture, we initially store data in S3, utilizing AWS Glue to consume data from diverse sources. Here, DynamoDB was employed for configurable items, primarily to modularize business logic. S3 served as a preliminary storage area before transferring the data into Redshift environment, which then enabled data sharing for our enterprise data lake. We leverage various data sets to enhance operations and analytics, requiring nearly 30 different data sets to generate insights across supply chain and finance sectors. Our data preparation for consumption use cases in Redshift was streamlined, utilizing parallel processing to simplify insight derivatives. Now, let's get one more level. Now we make that AWS architecture. Now, how this is going to impact the downstream users? As we said earlier, Redshift is our target database. We have a separate cluster for CMS managed data mesh architecture. In short, data mesh is an architecture which solves data security challenges through distributed and decentralized ownership. We have multiple channels of business data where we are integrating for our analytical needs. We organize cluster to provide controlled access to each data set, ensuring governance and shareability. This facilitates data tagging, cataloging creation, and sharing across enterprise cluster. The ease of building reports and analytics across various data sets was significantly enhanced. We remain vigilant in creating an AWS ecosystem, enabling more effective data utilization for our use cases here. So now let Anil will explain about the experience on our journey so far. Thanks, Anil.
Since Arun has provided the detailed overview of architecture, I would like to share what we learned through this entire transition. Traditionally, legacy systems require a lot of maintenance activities. However, with the moving to AWS, manage and serverless infrastructure, we do have a no downtime for our data delivery anytime. And the ability to share the data directly between different Redshift clusters and also eliminating no ETL with RDS has significantly reduced data copy and overproducing the things and creating a multiple copies was minimized by 50%, which eventually helped to reduce our objects by 50%. And being in our previous structure of legacy on-prem warehouse, operate in time-based schedules to enable the data for our end customers. Now, with AWS event-driven step functions, we have integrated and automated our pipelines effectively, which is helping to 50% performance improvement. We are delivering the data continuously without any of the waiting time, early of the 50 minutes, 50% improvement is there. And the most important thing, it's like if you are moving to the cloud, the challenge comes with the skills of the people. Using RSQL, which is like almost like a skill, was smooth and our team members quickly adopted, which is helped in accelerating our transition process. Overall, the shift was resulted in cost saving of 40%, which is a significant benefit for our digital team's budget. If I look at moving forward, how we are looking further to evolve this and operate the things in the future is like, what are the things we better use in the Redshift, which is already enabled by the AWS services? One is like completely evolving on looking at the cost as our primary thing, as I said. Redshift serverless, we are planning to use in the future from server. Spectrum for enabling the data for others to consume. The options of AutoML at Redshift is like a simple SQL along calling the model, generating the value out of it with a less code. We are planning to use this. And also along with governance, till now we are using our internal governance policies for the data ingestion processes, tagging and all. We prefer to use Lakehouse. These are all the experiment we are planning to do in the future to be continue our journey in the AWS. And also, this is pretty much important. Self-healing data pipelines means anything is failed at any time because of this source side issues. Our pipeline was broken. There is a manual interventions. How can I avoid? That is one of the things we are evolving on there, understanding how to adopt that capability into our ecosystem. Beyond that, disaster recovery is enabling any of the things that are happening at our availability zone. We would like to enable the another availability zone to be quickly come up. These are all the things are mainly focusing on disaster recovery and continue to evolve on how we are integrating, serving the data for others beyond our team. Connected overall data, entire enterprise is like a self-service for the betterment and give the data whoever want very easily and effectively. The key takeaways from our overall journey is like build solution only what your organization need. Always align that to your vision. If you would like to build home for two people, build a home for two people only. Don't build castle and don't spend your time on unnecessarily on maintaining the castle. Also, continuous cost evolving is one thing we need to be take care. How we usually monitor our spends personally, right? I have 100 rupees I need to spend on this month. We keep checking, hey, whether I'm overspending anywhere or not. You need to have that mechanism when you are there in the cloud ecosystem. It's a continuous monitoring. You need to be promote as an organizational culture. And also AWS has a lot of great tools to support that initiative. And even AWS CTO promotes frugal architecture, which is very cost sensitive approach actually. And before I'm moving to the Q&A, I want to express my gratitude to AWS for being a valuable partner on digital technology landscape, helping GE Aerospace to ensure safe landing passengers like us when we are traveling. Might be everybody in this room are traveled with GE Aerospace technology safely. Thank you. Safety is our priority. Thank you, everyone. Just moving on to the question and answer.
Hey, thanks Anil and Arun Karthik. That was amazing journey and really excited to know how much you have accomplished. Now we'll open it up for Q&A chat. If you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the chat. Meanwhile, I just had a few curious questions. One, I'm from the traditional ETL and data warehousing background, so I'm just curious, to understand what kind of benefits you gain by switching from on-prem Informatica to AWS Glue, because Informatica is also one of the available options within AWS EC2, right?
Yeah. Arun, you would like to take that answer? I'll chime in.
Yeah, sure. Basically, this is mainly for better operational stability, which was stability, scalability, and reliability to deliver a key with respect to the business priorities. Uh, that is a major goal for that. Anil, you want to add anything?
And also, we have taken our entire ecosystem should be in AWS services and managed services. We don't want to be have additional headache. I should call that as a headache. We manage the server of EC2 to manage the version upgrades of the Informatica on our own. We would like to be get out of that entire burden out of our team's head. That is the reason we have chosen everything should be there in AWS managed services.
Got it. Thank you. And I also noticed there was a zero ETL connection from RDS to Redshift, while there was also another, direct copy of the processed S3 data coming to the Redshift. So just can you help the participants understand what is the difference? Why do you have two different data pipelines coming in? Is it with the
Sure.
type of data or yeah?
Sure. What is happening, right? Whenever the data pipeline might be, I'll go back a little bit. I'm trying to just change the slide actually to get everybody on the same page. Okay. What is happening? This separate pipeline is there for us, right? Like whenever the data is ingesting into our system, we do run some quality checks of the data. Quality is the primary thing to deliver. Data quality is the primary thing. With that, any of the failures of the data is happening with respect to the rules we configure, that entire data will be the failure records will be get not processed further. Those will be get entered into this small RDS. And on top of it, we will directly that integrate with the Redshift cluster and deliver to our source teams to reports to fix the data. We are enabling quality issues in our ecosystem by storing that in RDS and to some of the reporting capabilities for them. Hope I have answered your question, which was
Sure. So this is more of a quality check related.
quality checks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I see one question from Roshan. He wants to understand how did it help to have S3 raw versus S3 mirror in the architecture slide. So what is the
Okay.
difference? Uh-huh.
I'm going back. All the questions related to architecture.
Yeah, I think we
Okay.
have a lot of questions on the architecture. So
Okay. Super. Arun, you'd like to take that?
Yeah. If we are managing raw and mirror in S3, so raw is doing the incremental load. Okay, so after doing the incremental load, mirror will have the entire data set. This is equivalent to what our source system is having. So this helps mainly on backtracking for any issues which, if in case in future we are facing, means it would be very helpful in checking the data over here. So that's why we are maintaining two different.
okay. Thank you for that. And there's one more question from Kamal. How are we managing the data retention with respect to raw data and cold data?
We do keep the policies actually based on our organizational needs on the raw data and cold data. Certain things we are keeping. There is a timelines we define, and we enable those archival policies in the S3. Whenever it's required, it will be pulled out because we are archiving certain things after a week, and certain things we are keeping in the cold storage. Uh, After a year, we would like to preview based on the need of the data set. We have designed that actually to save our cost on the S3 storage.
Okay, so mostly S3 for the cold storage and Redshift for the hot, is it?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. And how about the data security and access control for the users? How are you implementing that?
Yeah, this is a tricky question actually. We have organized our data the way based on the what domain we are storing in the data. Like, that means we get the controls on the roles level. That access also is provided basis on the user. We have integrated our entire access controls to the role what we have created. That is enabled through our internal systems, and also the access will be given to the crash accounts also based on the roles and data sets what they require. That's the way the access controls were placed in our overall managing the cluster level at the data access. Is it anything you would like to add, Arun?
Okay, so I think we'll take one last question maybe. Just on a high level, like what is your next big bets for your solution in terms of technological expansion?
We are now we created the criticality. Everybody is looking at how can I use the data effectively for the data management piece. We are done now. We already have certain analytics which are in the various technologies and on-prem solutions. We would like to be turn them into the new platform what we created, and also our goal is like our users can easily access our data, build their own AI and ML capabilities using of the SageMaker and Bedrock on their own. Basically, SageMaker, because ours is mainly data intense ML, AML needs were there. We love to use SageMaker in the future very effectively on the same platform, and everything should be there in AWS ecosystem. Okay, then we really not required to worry about the infrastructure. That's the way we're looking. Thanks for the time. And if you would like to reach out to us, I'm available on LinkedIn. Any questions? Welcome. Thanks, Arun, for being with me today.